friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to be sharing my April bullet journal theme setup with you guys in today's video. I'm also going to be sharing my top few tips and tricks, things that I wish someone had told me years ago that took me years to figure out myself, so I'm going to be sharing those with you today. The color scheme I've chosen for this month's setup is this kind of neutral brown tone, so I'm going to be using only browns here, and I'm actually not going to be using any black fine liner. So I'm starting with this Crayola Super Tip marker here. It has a very fat tip, but it has a point at the end, so you can actually get pretty thin lines like I'm drawing here. And tip number one is to use dashed lines. This makes such a big difference, and it also means you don't need a ruler. Dashed lines are really forgiving, and any sort of minor errors and waviness and kind of not straightness is not very obvious at all when you use dashed lines. They also give a really cute aesthetic, and I would see other creators and other journalers' pictures online and I would think, why are mine not looking like that? It's because they're using dashed lines. Now I'm going in with this Pentel brush pen in this brown color, and I'm writing out the name of the month on top in a cursive font. I decided not to use any black fine liner this month. This is a fun trick that I like to do now and again, but of course you could do this in black as well. I went with a cursive font for like the big titles, and I'm just using a very simple kind of italic lowercase printing font for the words and then the name of the days on top. Then I'm going to draw a little square in the top left of each box each day of the month on the calendar with this kind of medium tan tone, and that's where I'm going to write the date, the number. I kind of messed up here and I only made 29 boxes, which I realized when I got to the end, so no stress. If you ever make a mistake in your bullet journal, just go cut a little bit of paper out of the back and tape it or glue it down. I have this handy little glue roller, and then I'm going to make that last box, and no big deal at all. So I just need to rewrite goals over here now, and my goals are going to go on this bottom corner. If you followed me for a while, you may know I always put goals on the first spread, but I have something else planned for the first page on the cover page for this month, so I put the goals over here. This brings me to tip number 2, which, as you may have noticed, I didn't start with the cover page. I started on the calendar spread. I do this every single month. You guys, this is such an underrated hack. It doesn't cost you any time at all. You're still going to set up all of the same spreads, but leave the cover page for last, because then you've done all your other spreads. You've had a chance to practice your doodles. You've had a chance to see what works, what you like, and what you don't like. And then when you come to the cover page at the end, you can pick all of your favorite and the best elements to show off on the cover page. So trust me, I do this every single month, and I'm always so glad I left it for last. I'm adding a few suitcase doodles now on the left side, this kind of like stack of suitcases, and because I'm not using a black fine liner, I had to be a little bit careful with how I sketched it out and colored it in, and I'm using this white gel pen to add a little bit of sort of dimension and detailing on the darker colors. I really love this kind of stitching effect, so I'm adding that to a few of the suitcases. Also, the suitcases were looking like smiley faces. Do you see what I mean with like the clasp and the handle? Kind of looks like a smiley face. But I think this is really cute, this stack of suitcases, and I'm really pleased with how all of these brown tones are working well together. I'd like to take a minute to tell you guys about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare offers tons of creative classes for hobbyists, professionals, and everyone in between. The classes are real people teaching real creative skills, and you can learn at your own pace whenever you want. I obviously went straight for the art classes, and this fake calligraphy class piqued my interest. Although I can do calligraphy, I never learned properly and had just jumped right in when I started. This class was really helpful because we started by practicing each letter stroke by stroke, and I thought it was really helpful that she had a diagram describing each letter. Consistency in lettering is something I've always struggled with, and knowing how to break down each letter helped me improve. We learned a few fancier techniques before getting into the main project of the course, which was putting it all together with this fun "You've got mail" quote. The fake calligraphy methods she taught were so easy to implement. You guys ask me all the time about what kind of lettering you can do as a beginner. Skillshare makes lettering and so many other skills so approachable and breaks down barriers like any fancy equipment or experience. With Skillshare, anyone can learn a new creative hobby, and I'm glad that the first 500 people to use my link in the description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Moving on to the next spread now, I decided to skip the usual trackers and I decided to do a packing list and a to-do list instead. I guess I could have done habit trackers as well, but I'm going to be really busy this month planning for this trip, so I decided to just skip it entirely and focus on the travel aspect of the journal this month. So to set up this packing list, I decided to color in a little square instead of drawing a box, because this was a lot faster. So this worked out really well, and I think it's really aesthetic. And this brings me to tip number 3, which is to use a checkered grid to fill in the background. So I'm drawing straight lines here, horizontally first, and then I'm going to add vertical lines to make this kind of plaid or like checkered grid. This is such a great hack for filling in the background and making your spread look more complete. On the right side, I'm doing the same boxes, but I decided to mix it up. Instead of doing the plaid background, I'm just coloring in a thicker line next to each box, and that's where I'll write all the items in my to-do list. Now I've got this really cute doodle in the bottom here. It's like a signpost with these different like arrows pointing left and right. You know, you see these at like touristic places where they point to like LA 1,000 kilometers away or Tokyo 8,000 kilometers away, those kind of signs. So that's the vibe I was going for here, and I'm just mixing and matching different tones of brown on this sign, and then I'm going to draw the post in the back. I decided to write different words, not places on the sign, but just different words related to travel. So I've got travel, freedom, excitement, etc. And this gel pen I've had mixed reviews on. It's the best white gel pen I've used so far, but as you can see, you have to go over it a couple times to really get the white ink to show properly. So let me know in the comments if you guys have a white gel pen that you really recommend or swear by, because so far I've not found like an amazing one. I decided to add a gratitude page here. I haven't done one of these spreads in a while this year yet, and the month starts on a Wednesday, so I had the extra page, and I think it's a really good idea, especially in a month where I'm so busy planning for a trip, that I still remember to slow down and think about all the amazing things I have in my life and show gratitude for that. So I think this was a timely place in my journal to add one of these gratitude trackers again. In the bottom corner here, I'm just adding a few little doodles that we're going to see on the cover page in a moment. So just a few fun like travel related doodles, always using those same brown tones. So I didn't use any black fine liner this entire spread. I was really pleased with how it was looking, but there was this blank space, so I decided to put a little quote. I don't do a lot of quotes in my bullet journal, and I feel like I should add more because they're kind of fun and they're kind of artsy. So I added this quote, "Adventure is on your horizon," in the blank space. And now I'm going to set up the first spread. I'm keeping it super simple. It's just 4 days, so I did 4 boxes on this page, and that was it. Very, very simple. I think this month is going to have a lot of really simple weekly spreads because I just don't have a ton of time coming up. And now we are ready to finally set up the cover page. All the other spreads are done, so we have some good practice now, and let's set up our cover page. You can see that I've already prepared a lot of the doodles here, and the doodles follow this kind of like swoosh shape. So you can see the pencil mark very lightly, but in the upper left, it's kind of narrow, and then it spreads out as you get to the bottom of the page. So that was the kind of shape I wanted, almost like these doodles are falling from the top. This is a type of cover page that I have done in the past, and I really liked it. I just haven't done it in a while. I haven't done it yet this year, so I thought this was a good sort of layout for these themes. This layout works well when you have like lots of little doodles like this. So I thought it was perfect, and I was really happy to bring it back into my journal this month. I'm just coloring in all the little doodles that I set up in various tones of the browns that I've been using. And this brings me to tip number 4, which is use consistent colors. You can see throughout this entire journal setup, I only used brown tones, and I used maybe like 3 or 4 different brown tones, which is already actually kind of a lot. I would recommend sticking to 3 colors, especially if you're a beginner, just to get you started. Stick to 3 colors and only use those colors throughout your entire setup. And the less colors you use, the more cohesive and kind of tied together and professional your journal is going to look. Now, if you love to use lots of colors, then go crazy. This is your journal, so you should love it. You should absolutely do what you want to do. But if you're looking for that kind of polished aesthetic, I would always see pictures of other artists and journalers work online and think, why doesn't mine look quite that like tidy and professional? It's because they used very few colors and I was using too many colors. So it's hard to maintain a polished theme when you do that. So trust me on this, less is more when it comes to your color palette. Now, I've been talking a lot about travel and this upcoming trip that I set up this entire monthly spread for. I have a very exciting bit of traveling coming up this year. I may take a short break from bullet journaling as a result, but I will definitely be back on this channel, so don't go anywhere. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any guesses for what I might be doing or where I might be traveling. I may be able to share more with you guys when I'm back from the trip and give you guys some updates on what I did. But it's a very exciting and big trip, so that's why I wanted to dedicate a whole monthly theme for it in my journal and give myself a lot of space for planning, tracking, budgeting, schedule, like kind of just getting my mind organized before this big trip. Also, let me know in the comments what your guys' travel plans are this year. And even if you don't have big travel plans, I hope you can still enjoy this theme. And even doing a theme like this could get you like in the mood or excited for travel. So I don't think you need to be doing a big travel this month to use a theme like this. I think it's still a fun one. The doodles are really fun, and I think it's still kind of an exciting way to dream big and yeah, get some excitement and enthusiasm for an upcoming or maybe a dream trip in the future. I just added a few little sparkles here and there to finish it off. I think it kind of matches the vibe and it felt like there was something missing. So yeah, I just added these little sparkles all throughout the sort of swoosh of doodles. And I'm trying to erase my pencil mark in the back, but I had a feeling this would be a very like smudgy theme, especially the white gel pen. So I didn't erase perfectly. I just kind of dabbed over all of the doodles so that I was being really careful. Now on the left side, this is where I normally always put my goals, but I decided to do a quote page instead just for fun, just to kind of mix things up. So this whole setup was a little bit different than my usual if you guys have watched my videos before. But yeah, I thought this was really fun and I decided to draw like an airplane window here. So it's like the airplane, like you're sitting inside looking out and you can see the wing of the airplane. I just thought that was really kind of whimsical and fun, but I'm still sticking with my color theme. So I'm still coloring the airplane in tan, and even the clouds are in this like warm brown color. So again, stick with the right color palette, even though obviously it's not realistic. I think it just looks so much more aesthetic and cute to keep the same color scheme as the cover page on the right. And then for the quote, I wrote, "The only trip you'll regret is the one you don't take." I feel like this is a great quote to remind us that time is limited, and when you have the opportunity, if you have the means, you should grab it. So this is the final flip through of my April bullet journal theme. I hope you guys really enjoyed this slightly different setup and slightly different video today, and I hope you guys got some good tips to set up in your bullet journal. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys next time. Bye friends!